CSU Extension Rangeland Curriculum, SARE Grant Number LNC 19-419. Come spend a day with us in the life of a farmer or rancher, through the good days and the bad.
Hello, I'm Gordon Gerbig, Amadon, North Dakota. I've lived here most of my life except for the years I put in the Army and a couple of years down in the Buffalo, South Dakota country. I was born here the year 1947. That was the year my dad purchased this ranch. And we've been here ever since. Worked for my uncle a couple of years prior to coming here too. So this is kind of like home for me most of my life. We've got two sons that are working with me on this ranch, a neighboring ranch to the south in Slope County. Federal land. Some of the federal land that's out here was land that was never homesteaded. It was too rough, like the land that you can see off to the east here. That land was never homesteaded, so it was always federal land. It was open to anybody that wanted to graze it back in the 1800s and early 1900s. The other federal land was land that the government bought back from the homesteaders that decided they couldn't make it out here anymore, and they left. They were offered so many cents on the dollar to move elsewhere, and it became federal land. And then you ended up with intermingled private and federal land in pastures. In some instances they were fenced into the same pasture just due to the topography and where it was located from the headquarters. Some people operate on strictly federal land in the summertime. Some people have intermingled private and federal land in their permit. The other part of the structure of the grazing on the grasslands is the cooperative management of the grasslands between in North Dakota. It's managed by the Department of Agriculture through the Forest Service. The Forest Service has control of the federal land. The grazing associations lease the federal land as one big permit. Comes down to the grazing association. We're charged with managing it and parceling out the permits to the different permittees. And the management of the permits and everything is done by the grazing office. Your permit is figured on, the cost of your permit is figured based on just the federal land that you run on. You don't pay anything to the federal government for the private land. Where we're sitting right now, we're next to the Little Missouri River as it meanders down through our federal permit. Here, the river here, if you can imagine, there's people that like to canoe on the river, and it's all part of what they're allowed to do on their national grasslands. It's a multiple use concept that was initially set up back in the early days in the 50s, even before that, I guess, that it would be a multiple use land where the public could utilize it for hunting, fishing, boating, horseback riding, and the grazers or the ranchers, they put the cattle on there to utilize the grass and keep the grass healthy at the same time, and still the public is involved in the whole concept of the National Grasslands concept. They've added the Monahey Trail to the whole concept. It's a trail that horseback riders and hikers and bicycles can utilize.